Good morning. Today, I kind of wanted to share with you something that I struggle with. And it's not a struggle with in a negative sense, it's more a struggle with being honest with myself because of hesitation around how being honest will change my life. And what I'm not being honest about is what reality do I desire? How do I want to live? How do I want to be? I have glimpses and pieces, but I've never really put together the big picture. And part of that is a fear of moving away from people around me, getting out of sync with family and friends, heck, even moving from where I live. There's a lot of uncertainties about how my reality would end up being if I fully embraced my heart's desires. And that is where the fear comes in that then blocks my vision. So I guess at some point, this is where I need to make a choice. Do I wish to continue to struggle and not be true to myself? Or do I embrace who I am on every level, physical, emotional, mentally, spiritual, soul level, and become the being that I know that I am? And accept whatever consequences, positive, negative, neutral, would come from that. It is almost like the feeling of being a child and being safe in your space, being taken care of on a certain level. But at some point, you have to step out of your family and be part of a bigger community. And that is what this feels like for myself. Like I need to step out of my familiar space and step out into being part of a bigger community. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, because I'm not making it easy. I am making it complicated. It is simple, but not necessarily easy. There's a lot of paradox in human existence. There's a lot of outside influence outside of yourself that can be mitigated and transformed. But depending on what level you're at and depending on what you make more important, that can be quite influential. Now, you can decide that that outside world does no longer influence you. But I do find it tricky because I do find that I get sucked into it over and over again, and I don't pay attention or I forget that I am the sovereign of my world and my energy field and my beingness. It's that refocusing on myself, on my inner world. But it is a journey. It is experience. It's not a goal to reach, because I feel like when you've reached that goal, that's the end of existence. So it is much more enjoyable to be along for the ride than to race to the finish, to enjoy the journey along the way. And I know it feels like a cliche in some ways, but it's the memories that we make along the way that provide pleasure and joy, that give me emotional experiences, that make life interesting. So really, I kind of wanted to share part of my inner thoughts, part of my current experience with you guys, to encourage you that no one is perfect. It's all an experience. How or what we experience is part of our journey and part of our creation and part of our unknown creation from our soul. So don't be so harsh on yourself or feeling like you haven't gotten there, you haven't done it yet, you're still holding yourself back. Sometimes there's very valid reasons that you're holding yourself back, because we are stepping into a great unknown. We're stepping into a new world, a new vibration. We don't know what that will be. And uncertainty is where fear lies, at least for most of us. So I wanted to share this to encourage you to be kind and gentle with yourselves. And that it reflects to myself as well, that it is good to be on this journey with you all. And I am blessed to be able to share my experiences with you along this journey. Love y'all.